This episode of Yo Gabara is brought to you by Mellow Yellow and Bojangles. Get your bow on.
Don't even.
I'm keeping it this time. This is take 3.
I'm fat and wanted to eat some Bojangles before I got over here.
And I really love Mellow Yellow.
Anyway, so today we're going to do a fun episode today where we're going to try to look at the MonsterVerse as a whole leading up to Godzilla King of the Monsters. So we're going to talk about the movies only. We're going to do Skull Island, and we're going to do Godzilla 2014. We're not really going to talk too much or go too in-depth about the comics, the Godzilla Awakening from 2015, or the Godzilla Aftershock, which you see in the background there, although I will be giving a spoiler-free little small review at the end just to kind of go over it. But, so
I'm going to stop you right here. My Kong's better than your Godzilla.
Your Kong's gigantic.
Yeah, it is.
Godzilla. I like the Mezco Kong. I've said it before, though. I wish he was just a bit smaller, just so he could line up with the other figures.
I wish he had more articulation.
Well, yeah, that'll do it.
Is
the new, next to him is the new 2014 NECA Godzilla. I think they did a bang-up job on him. He looks...
The eyes are distracting.
Yeah, that's been a problem. There's people online talking about, like...
Sorry.
NECA, you were supposed to destroy Tamishi, not join them.
Yeah, their King Goji is a little off. One eye's looking up, one eye will look over at the other direction. Yeah.
It kind of fits the suit, though, right? Anyway, I'm Alex. This is Clayton.
I'm Clay.
And so let's get into
Kong
Skull Island. Actually, beforehand, we're going to do a quick little thing, the beginning of Godzilla 2014, where they show them nuking Godzilla at Bikini Atoll, because that does happen before Skull Island.
Yeah.
So, now that that's addressed, now we're going to jump into Skull Island.
You weren't testing a weapon, you were trying to kill something.
Exactly.
Okay, so Kong Skull Island takes place, and there we go. At the tail end of Vietnam, and John Goodman has like, hey, we found this island thanks to satellites, and we want to go and look at it. So we need a military escort, so we're going to hire Nick Fury, and we're going to need somebody to help us get through the jungle, so we're going to get Loki.
We're going to get Loki.
And
Captain Marvel, right?
At the tail end, right before they leave, they get Captain Marvel. Kind of like, Marvel Endgame, where...
Whoa. Let's not even do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so...
She stole the thunder. All right.
Thanos is the thunder.
Brought to you by Maliello.
So, yeah, some things I like in this movie, because we're going to try and not do like a full plot rundown, because it
takes too much time.
We're going to do 2 movies in one episode, so... I like the very beginning where it shows John C. Reilly's character and the Japanese guy fighting in World War II.
I wish the Japanese pilot was around a little bit longer.
Yeah, he was cool.
I don't know, it was just something about...
But that first scene where Kong like climbs up the side and you see him for the first time,
they wasted no time.
No, that's a really good effect. And one thing, this is coming after, obviously, when they made this movie, after 2014, and so that was a big complaint in 2014, was we didn't see Godzilla enough. Well, in this one, they waste no time. Kong from the get-go, and there's a lot of good monster fights all throughout the movie. A lot of homages back to the originals.
Oh, so good.
The Skull Crawlers, brand new enemy for him to fight, and I kind of like them better than the Mutos.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
I love how the Mutos
vicious.
sound, that chirping sound they would do.
Mm-hmm.
Is Kong a perfect movie? No. It's awesome, though. I love this movie so much.
Yeah, it's a great one to go and, it's to, have fun and just enjoy a movie. Like, in my later years, I've been kind of, more geared towards movies that are entertaining and fun. Like, every movie is not going to be this perfect script, 10 out of 10 blockbuster. But if you can give me a movie that's fun and entertaining and I enjoy, I'll probably remember that one a lot more.
Raiders of the Lost Ark was the perfect movie.
Aliens.
Brought to you by Meliello.
Aliens
is really good.
Yeah.
I bet. Anyway.
Anyway.
So.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah. Coming next time, Raiders of the Lost Ark versus Aliens.
Versus Alien. Ooh, a versus episode. Anyway, no, we're getting ahead.
No,
of
this is going to be the versus episode. Let's do this.
This is a overall, because Kong is clearly the better movie.
And we win.
I'm just saying, it is. It's a better movie.
There we go.
There's...
Okay, well, when we get to Godzilla, I'll talk about this.
Okay.
So Kong... All right, this is... And even the director pointed this out, too. Did he write this movie, too?
Jordan Bott Roberts?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he wrote it.
Okay, so like the first part of the movie is they bring this team together. Awesome soundtrack.
The soundtrack's okay.
I
Look, I love all the songs, and I know I guess they're doing it in like an ironic format, but it's like every time you show something in Vietnam, you have to play some Creedence, and you have to, and so it's like, it's enjoyable, but I'm at the same
they
time...
brought in Black Sabbath when they were going through.
Well, yeah, but again, it's good. It's good. I like it. I like all of the songs, but as a whole... You're just following every trope that every other movie set at the same time's done.
Forrest Gump. Same songs.
I know. Same songs. Yeah.
So they get to the island, and Kong shows up. Is that a monkey? And he just...
And wrecks them.
Oh, so good.
Wrecks them.
And then they're separated for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was kind of a letdown. Like, you spend the first part of the movie bringing these people together, and then you immediately... Basically, just take them apart. So, I noticed where my hand was there. There we go. Yeah, but I can't remember his name. Toby, the guy that had the kid that ends up by himself. And
oh yeah, the one they were. Yeah,
I can't remember his name. He was in.
See the one on the walking stick.
Yeah,
they got iced by the Skullcrawler.
He did a really good job in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, where he was Koba. So good. Oh, nice. And he's also Dr. Doom in that one Fantastic Four movie nobody remembered.
I don't really remember either one of them.
I just remember him. But they're trying to get to him, and without them even knowing, all of a sudden, Skullcrawler gets him and his blood gets splattered across a tree.
Yep.
And that's it. And the next time you see him, he's a decaying head that one of the Skullcrawlers vomits up. And
one thing I did like about this movie, on its own, like, yeah, you know, it obviously is set in the MonsterVerse, and the way they did that was John Goodman's character is part of Monarch, and apparently was on one of the ships that Godzilla attacked.
Was it Godzilla though?
Yeah, I think they said it was Godzilla.
They said like something attacked the ship, and it was just pure rage. It could have been.
It was Manda. Could have been Manda.
It just wraps around and breaks it. Yeah. Who's the only survivor?
So anyway, he has devoted his life to hunting down these monsters and checking them out. And so, yeah, it's kind of his ties to Monarch. You don't really know what level of Monarch he's at. It doesn't seem like maybe a very high one, though. I mean, he's higher, I think, than most. But I guess you have to be in Monarch. It's such a secret organization.
Yeah.
And there's definitely like not a... Well, like a peon in Monarch, you know?
I've actually never thought about it, but I just kind of assumed there wasn't that many people left in Monarch because they're begging for funding.
Yeah,
at
but
this point, and
no, I don't think it's not that there's many people left. I don't think that it's actually got going real good yet. Like there's very small people because it's a very small organization, but from the events of 2014 and now into King of the Monsters, Monarch is much bigger.
Yeah, there's proof that
there's these monsters do exist, and now people are joining the cause.
Give them funding.
But let's see here. The propeller scene. So when he's fighting the giant Skullcrawler, and takes that propeller on a giant chain and just whips it around. So
There's
sweet.
a lot of references to other movies that, like, I could have done without the spiders.
Oh, the Kumonga wannabe?
The bamboo spiders.
Those things were cool.
Oh.
See, that's one thing about this movie is so many monsters.
I love
it really made Skull Island feel alive and dangerous. Oh, where he goes down like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're saying that was a reference to Cannibal Holocaust,
mm-hmm.
and that got me interested in looking at that movie.
I've never watched Cannibal
Don't do it.
Holocaust, but I
Don't
did
do it.
watch Green Inferno. You ever seen that one?
I've heard about it, but
That's another good one.
no.
What's our time at? Okay, 10 minutes.
So we got 5 more minutes to wrap this up for
this
Kong.
one of my favorite scenes in this movie is where they, Sam Jackson's character and his group, they have decided we got to kill Kong. We're bringing him down, and
It's
it's
very Moby
at
Dick, though.
night. It is very Moby Dick.
Yeah,
and it's
he's
at
obsessed.
night, and he lights that whole field on fire, and you just see like Kong standing there on the other side of it.
Were you kind of
it's
expecting
so
him to hold
good.
a torch when they light everything? And
Yeah.
he's like, "Ah!"
Right? yes.
You're not Arnold, but you're hunting the predator. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna do a predator episode.
You just want to do one so you can have me do that the entire length of the episode.
We'll do Predator 2. Want some candy? The wildlife in this movie is fantastic.
Yes. The giant octopus, where he sits there and he fights that thing for a minute and just sits down and starts snacking on him.
That was a reference to King Kong versus Godzilla, and War of the Gargantuans. Well, he fought a giant octopus,
and then obviously with the propeller thing where he has the chains wrapped around him for a moment. It's a little homage back to Kong being up in chains.
Yeah, and they said when he uses that propeller, that was supposed to be Flying Guillotine, or Master of the Flying Guillotine. I think it was a kung fu movie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Kong's smart in this movie.
Yeah,
Very
which
smart.
is gonna come in handy when he inevitably does fight Godzilla, because Godzilla is no dummy either. He's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into in the next one. You watched this movie more recently than I have. Is there anything that stands out to you that we haven't covered? That favorite scene in the movie?
Well, every scene with Kong in it, it was amazing. I'm crying because I was laughing so hard there a second ago. The end credit scene, like the first one, not that one.
That one.
Not that one. Or are we talking about the same one?
But you know what one I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah, when John C. Reilly makes it home.
Oh no, that one. Yeah, that one. Because he's one of the best characters in this movie.
He is the best character in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am partial to Sam Jackson, regardless of how
yeah.
evil he is in this movie. But no, John C. Reilly is
so good.
like almost makes the movie. Even if you're not a Kong fan, you will love just him in general.
And so he.
Although
beard,
if you're not a Kong fan,
he's
I don't
got.
know why you're watching it.
Yeah, there was an Akira reference too on the back on his bomber jacket. There was the peel. It was like good for your health.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so he's like shacked up with the locals, the natives on the island, and not shacked up.
He's hanging out with them.
Yeah, he's just hanging out.
I guess they granted him asylum. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
they don't talk. They don't talk much.
No. But he understands them and respects their way of life, and so they are cool with him staying there.
Yeah.
Which their way of life is pretty much, don't mess with Kong. Kong is a god on the island. Don't ruin it for him. He runs the place.
Yeah,
As long as you're cool with that,
he's
you
a pretty
abide by
good
that.
king. Keeps to himself mostly.
Right. I love some of the scenes of him like swinging like on the side of the mountains and whatnot.
He's just out playing.
That's
around.
really cool.
But the scene, they finally make it back home, and he knocks on his door, and this 22-ish-year-old man opens the door, and they look at each other, and then his wife comes around the corner, and she waited for him.
Yeah, that was.
And then they shake hands, and that's when I'm like,
And then he finally what it did with me was he finally got to sit down and watch a baseball game and
Opening day.
He finally got to sit back and watch his game and drink beer and eat hot dogs.
And that was a reference that he made earlier in the movie. He's like, "You are more beautiful than an ice cold beer
Yep.
and a hot dog on opening day."
And he finally.
But y'all are real.
Yeah.
And it was so good. And I want to say the first movie I saw him in was Step Brothers. I personally wasn't a fan. Then I saw him in Talladega Nights. Thought it was hilarious. But this, I want to say, is my favorite John C. Reilly movie. And
yeah.
I'm emotional right now. It really does. Like he gets home and his family's still there. I don't know. I wasn't expecting anything. Like,
so I got a little emotional because I'm a 5-year-old fanboy. at the next post-credit scene so they have Tom Hiddleston and
Loki and Captain Marvel.
yeah, what's her Brie Larson. They have
I like her in this movie.
I think she's great. Yeah. They're sitting in the room and they're like, "We don't know anything. We're not going to tell anyone." And is it Brie Larson who's like, "I'm telling everybody. I don't know."
It's like, I promise I won't tell the Russians. I will tell the Russians.
I'm telling the Russians.
She's gonna tell the Russians. They're like, "Well, thanks a lot, Brie. Now we're never gonna get out of here."
So the guy comes in and tells them and starts showing them the slideshow. Says Kong is not the only king, and starts showing them paintings on the wall of Godzilla, Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra, people throwing like spears and fighting them. Obviously, these guys have been around for a long time. And then the screen cuts to black, and you hear Godzilla's roar. I was in the theaters watching this.
I was recording it. I was illegally recording it, and I ran out of space on my phone. But I'm just sitting there like, I got to send this to my wife when this is over with.
The FBI bus in. I'm gonna get out of here. FBI.
Hello, my name is Jackson.
So
my name is Jason.
The theater erupted when Godzilla's roar happened. It was so cool.
Oh, I was the last one there.
Oh man,
I was the only one there.
No, people were saying, and just to see, because I guess people knew, but man, when Godzilla's roar happened at the end of that theater, like I wasn't really expecting the roar. Like I was like already blown away. Like, oh, we're good. And there was like some eagle-eyed people had spotted it prior, because if you watch the credits of Kong, before it hits that end credit scene, it has Toho's property of Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, Ghidorah, and people were like, "The hell? What are these in here?"
Yeah.
And then boom, it hits you at the end of it. And you're like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" So already I'm sitting there like a 5-year-old, like, "Oh yes, yes, yes!" And then the roar hits, and I'm just like, "This is the best day I've ever had."
The 2014 Godzilla roar is a really good roar.
I like it a lot. It took me a minute for me to grow on, but the first time in that movie, which we're about to segue in, that he does it,
it's that big deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
But then they immediately cut away from it.
That's a problem in that movie.
But
before we jump into it, Kong, last word. Any negative?
I give it an A-.
I'm going to say if you haven't seen it, watch it. Especially if you're liking these Godzilla movies and this MonsterVerse, you need to watch it. Me personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of King Kong. I'm still holding a grudge after 62. Yeah, you can look at me like that if you want to. But I love this movie. It is fantastic. It is by far my favorite King Kong movie.
Shocking powers.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Electric touch. We're going to have to do King Kong Escapes sooner or later so you can see the awesomeness that is Mechany Kong.
Mecha Kong.
It's Mecha Kong. It's like, yeah, it's Mechany Kong. Like, your teeth are terrible.
It's hard for me to find a least favorite in this movie. I don't have
the scientist.
Other than maybe the overused soundtrack of all the Creedence songs, which again I like those songs. But you fell into every trope that every other movie did.
Every Vietnam movie is the same song.
It's the same thing, and it's like, okay, I can do without it. I know the songs. I know they mesh well. Either way, that's probably my only gripe.
So there's a scientist, and he's a D-bag, and he's like, I'm not getting on the helicopter, and then he gets on the helicopter, and he's a D-bag. I don't think he deserved what he got in the movie, because there's these, and as Sam Jackson calls them, that is one ugly bird. It's
oh God, those things.
Yeah, that thing.
Whoa.
So it's like this little pterodactyl pteranodon bird, and when it turns its head, it has like its giant beak is a saw blade,
and it rips you to pieces.
And all of a sudden,
when they're on the tree too, and all you see is them flare. Oh,
I thought, like, man, they're about to come and get y'all.
Yeah,
and then they didn't. But
time to go.
So John C. Reilly's character and the Japanese fighter pilot between World War II and then they had taken their Zero, and I can't remember what John's character. I don't know what kind of fighter plane it was.
Oh yeah.
But they were building a boat.
Yeah.
Out of it, and Loki, Captain Marvel, and this guy and John C. Reilly. They're on. I can't remember any of these people's
Dr.
names.
Steve Brule. No.
Yeah. They're on the boat. They're leaving, and all of a sudden, D-bag scientist just gets off into the air, and one of them things picks him up. One more grabs him by the leg, and they're flying away, and
just rips him to shreds.
Saw dactyl
Sawdactyl.
Sawdactyl, that's it.
Ooh,
Copyright.
I like it.
Sawdactyl. And just
Good album name.
and arm just off. And there's no blood. They probably don't, they didn't need to do that. Just slice, just clean. He didn't deserve that.
You know what? They kind of remind me of those little things. You ever see the movie Pitch Black with Vin Diesel?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
It's actually really good. It's one of Vin Diesel's better movies. But they have these little flying little things that fly around and they rip you to shreds. It's just like flying piranha almost, and they just fly up and you're dead.
I'm good.
And you're like, there's nothing left. Those things are terrifying.
I think Claudia Black's in that movie.
I don't remember much about it. Other
Farscape.
than the aliens
Watch it.
are pretty cool in it. So anyway, our next movie,
Godzilla.
Godzilla 2014. I was super pumped for this when the trailer came out and the Oppenheimer quote for it. It was so awesome.
And they lied. They lied.
Okay, so the biggest problem with this movie that everyone has is it's one of two things. Either Godzilla's not in it enough, or they cut away right when the cool thing's about to happen. That's my problem. Godzilla has decent screen time in this movie, because if you look at all the other movies where they show his screen time, it's nowhere near the bottom of the list on this one. I mean, granted, it's nowhere near the top. It's kind of dead in the middle of all his movies.
Well, if you're a fan of the Japanese movies, us, you understand that there's not going to be a lot of Godzilla in this movie. That's the key to it, but
he's there.
Yeah, he shows up at the end, he fights and all that.
Yeah.
And there's a few
when he is
scenes.
on screen, it's awesome, and you know he's there. That was my problem. Is I would almost rather have had another fight, maybe midway through the movie, and you actually show it instead of showing him like 4 times and cutting away before anything happens.
They're
like condense that screen time into another fight, a whole nother fight midway through or something.
I like the tease after he does his roar and they cut away to Elizabeth Olsen. So we have Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch from Age of Ultron in this movie. They're not brother and sister this time. They're husband and wife.
Hey, Daddy's home, cake every day or every night. Just cake all the time, really.
I'm in love with Elizabeth Olsen, but not in a creepy way. I don't stalk her.
Sounds pretty creepy.
I really like her Scarlet Witch.
So
She deserves her own movie.
yeah, she does. So this movie, though, Godzilla gets a facelift, brand new look for him. You know, very different. Well, I mean, honestly, last time we saw him was 2004 Final Wars.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks like a weird cat in the face. I was not a fan of his design in Final Wars.
Well, all right, we're going to go back for a second. What ticked me off about the trailers and all that is that they showed, and this is my problem.
The centipede monster?
Yes!
Yeah.
Nowhere in the movie.
No.
They show in one of the trailers, it's just panning across, and you see like this 6-legged monster, and people at first thought it was Anguirus. I'm like, if they give him 2 extra legs.
Yeah, it's going to be, no. Just make a whole new one.
Yeah, and but it's a new monster. It's gonna be awesome, and nowhere in the movie, not even mentioned, not even.
Nope.
Yeah.
The only thing, and it's answered now as to what it is, but in the beginning, so when they're in the Philippines and Dr. Serizawa, who has returned finally, they've brought this character back. Other than Bryan Cranston, Ken Watanabe is my favorite character in this movie, and probably in this MonsterVerse, honestly, since he's going to be in the new one too.
And he has about 2-3 lines, but they're really good lines.
They're really good, and I just like his. Like, granted, he always kind of does this like
staring off to the distance.
But I love it every time. I'll watch it every time.
I loved him in The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Tom Cruise movie.
So they go to the Philippines, and there's a collapse in one of the mines, and it kills a lot of the workers, and he goes down there, and that's where they find the Muto eggs. And it's inside this long skeleton. You see the spine on the ground and the ribs coming up. Now, for a while, everyone thought that was the centipede monster. That is not. That is an ancient Godzilla. That's a Godzilla ancestor.
Oh.
So that was... Yeah. These things used to kill Godzillas and hunt them. And as a matter of fact, the new Godzilla comic book, Aftershock, touches on this as well. But yes, everyone for a while thought that was a centipede monster. It is not. Just harkening back to your gripe while ago. Again, they don't touch on it anywhere in the movie.
Where's the centipede monster?
Where's the centipede?
I want to say Dr. Sarazawa's outfit is Shiro Honda based.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, the hat, the glasses, and the vest and such.
I love
it was him or it was Eiji Tsuburaya. I haven't seen this movie in well over a year.
I love how haunting this movie is. There's a lot of scenes in it that are very, like when he pulls out the stopwatch and tells the colonel, that it stopped on the morning of the bombing, that his dad gave it to him.
Which was touched upon in the Awakening comic.
So eventually, they have the Mutos. The Mutos get loose. The male busts out first, and this is where, spoiler if you hadn't seen it, we lose Bryan Cranston, who in the marketing for the movie was marketed as the main guy, and then they kill him like 30 minutes into the movie. Kind of sucks because he's an amazing actor, and I love pretty much everything that he's in. But so anyway, Muto the male flies away, and then we kind of start figuring out where the female is.
Of course, she's always a mate.
She is much bigger.
Huge!
Much bigger.
Bitch gets what she deserves.
But before that, we have a scene of Godzilla meets the male. So
I feel very bad for everybody at that airport.
And this is probably... It's hard to pick one of my favorite scenes in this movie, but this one does something that I really like. So there's all this commotion. The Muto's flying around. He's kicking over planes, cars, and everything's burning. And then there's the camera goes inside of the airport, and you're looking out all the windows, and you see the Muto out here messing things up. People are like screaming, and then all of a sudden, just a foot comes in, and as soon as the foot hits the ground,
after the chain reaction explosion.
Yeah,
that goes on outside.
That's what I'm saying. He's kicking stuff around, doing.
Explosion. Yeah. Like, that's terrible.
And then
you see this giant elephant trunk foot.
But when that foot lands, everything goes quiet. There's no music. There's no sound, and it just starts to this ominous hum as the camera pans all the way up, and you see Godzilla fully for the first time, and he lets out that roar, and then it cuts away.
And it cuts to Elizabeth Olsen and her kitchen, if I remember correctly, and you see the fight on TV, little tiny TV,
and it looks like a great fight. Like we could have been watching that.
Biggest CTs.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's yeah. And then so Godzilla jumps in the water on TV and chases after the Muto.
Then a female shows up. She's giant.
She's kind of trampling through Las Vegas.
We're gonna skip through the other half of this movie and get to the end.
I did like the scene where they're in Chinatown.
My other problem with this movie is that Aaron, I can't remember his last name, Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
He starts out looking for his Quicksilver. Sorry,
yeah.
He's
get it right.
Trying to get back to his family, and then like at every opportunity, like, oh, we need to go to fight this monster, and he just immediately
go to your wife.
Your wife is smoking hot.
Find your wife and your child and go be with them. No, I got to deliver this bomb and go take out some monsters.
That's my other problem that I have with Cloverfield, is that they constantly keep walking in front of the monster. Like, it shouldn't be that hard for a bunch of kids to get away from this giant monster.
To avoid the monster.
Yeah, like
does the monster keep coming after them?
There's no way that girl survived with that piece of rebar through her shoulder. I'm going to make it right, and he's going to just follow her around.
Is timing the real monster?
The Halo drop was really cool.
The Halo drop was really cool. I liked it a lot.
Because the Mutos has this awesome EMP power that and it causes blackouts.
So they have to fly above the clouds. That's the Halo, high altitude, low opening.
Yep. Drop out very slowly. You see... Is Godzilla fighting one of the
Godzilla is fighting the Muto, because when they come down through the clouds, you actually go inside his helmet and see what he sees, and everything's muffled. It's a really neat...
You hear him breathing. Yeah, it was a really cool shot.
You hear him breathing. You hear the from Godzilla's roar. That's all muffled. And one thing I like is when they get down in there and they have like these boots on the ground shots, you see like the shadow of the fight going on. Like everything's still rumbling and everything, but they'll look and you might see the tail cut over here from the shadow on the side of the building. It's really neat.
That's
really
another realistic thing is that it's like, oh, you can't see the monsters when they're fighting. These are giant creatures fighting around buildings, so there's going to be a lot of smoke and dust flying up.
Yeah.
And I find it perfectly understandable that there's going to be a lot of muffled like shots where you can't see what's going on other than the silhouettes.
Mm-hmm. And so,
but that comes into play later when Godzilla finally has had enough.
Yeah.
And it's dark. You don't see Godzilla, but you see this little blue glow and this humming. And I'm sitting there, and you just see that blue glow, and I'm just like looking at Chris like,
oh, and it goes right up his back. Boom!
And just this blue fire.
Blasts the female.
Oh, yeah.
See, one of my favorite scenes is, so the female is laying eggs in Chinatown. And
they wasted no time.
No. And there's just this smoke everywhere, and you see like the little red balloons that run across the screen, and lightning flickers. And when it flickers, all you see is this silhouette of Godzilla in the smoke, and you just see his tail wisp across. And there's no blue lighting, and you hear like the ding, like from a little piano, and the lightning flickers again, and Godzilla's now facing them. And
is this better than Terror of Mechagodzilla's reveal? The silhouette of Godzilla standing there?
Oh, no. That one's epic. That one had the whole music.
That had the music to it.
This one is just a quiet little piano. You don't really hear anything. Just ding, with lightning flickering every now and then. And you see Godzilla moving in the smoke. And then he busts through the smoke and lets out this long roar that like takes out the balloons and everything. It's such a neat effect. It was one of my favorite parts when it happened. But yeah, he unleashes that blue lightning on the female, and it messes her up for a minute.
A little bit.
But they start to get the upper hand, and they start to pounce on Godzilla, and he gets down, and they start wearing him out. And the only way that really they get off of him is Quicksilver and his army buddies go and detonate.
Use that mutant power.
Right?
Really close.
Fly over there and detonate her egg sac that she has laid out. And Mama is angry.
Did she go down to it? No, I'm thinking of Godzilla, the other one. The Matthew Broderick one with the charred bodies of the babies, and he just like goes down and looks.
She did, except there weren't any charred bodies because there was still just all the embryos.
Eggs.
So she just kind of looked at them, and she was very pissed.
It's like, you.
But in the midst of all this, Godzilla gets up. The male's still flying around him, and Godzilla has finally had it. And one quick swipe of that tail blasts him right into the building.
You know, we've talked more about the plot of this movie than we did about the Superior movie. Yeah. You're trying to sell Godzilla, man.
I'm sorry. Does Kong have a sequel coming up right now? Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he does.
Godzilla has one coming out in like 2 weeks.
Let me just focus in on them big old fangs right there.
That's going to hurt when he bites on the Godzilla, because you know he's going to do that.
Man,
we're almost done.
I really can't wait for Kong to pull out the shock fingers.
I swear to God, if he grabs a tree...
I hope he does. Well, no, because they're so huge, a tree ain't going to do anything.
It'll be a toothpick for Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he grabs a tree and tries to shoot...
I tried that. I tried that with that Kong. The hand just won't fit.
Oh, yeah.
With my little tree that I got.
So...
He's still huge compared to the King Goji that I got.
So... Then they take the nuke, they reel out to the water. Quicksilver's about to detonate it.
There's a Godzilla reference in that, too.
Yep. And Mama runs over and is now peering onto him. And like an idiot, he pulls out his pistol. I guess he aims it at her, but come on, you got it in the head, dude. You're not going to beat that thing. And so, but then Godzilla pulls a Tyrannosaur from Jurassic Park and sneaks up all quietly. No one hears him. Like, how do you not hear Godzilla sneak up behind you?
Or the monster from Cloverfield.
Right.
How did you miss that?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, then he grabs Mamamudo and pulls a Mortal Kombat fatality and breathes fire right down her throat and just blasts her head off.
That's a reptile fatality.
It's awesome. Everyone cheered in the movie. Everyone cheered.
We did.
It was a cool finishing move. I think even Sam we've been playing Mortal Kombat, and Sam whispered over to me and goes, "Fatality!" So, like, it was awesome. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of that movie. There wasn't an end.
You picked a good girl if she's gonna do that.
Oh yeah, she can beat my ass in Mortal Kombat. She's pretty good. So,
let me fight her as Rain.
She uses Katana and Melina. It's pretty nasty.
Bitch ass.
I got Scorpion.
Purple Rain.
You should pull out. Is it Prince on her?
Oh, it is. Sorry, that's a different thing.
Anyway, so least favorite parts of this movie, though, I don't like all the
Bryan Cranston dying.
Bryan Cranston dying early on. I don't like all of the cutaways. I mean, I get it for effect of the less is more, trying to sell it like Jaws.
Oh, speaking of like,
we're here to watch Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla's the star of the movie, and when you cut away from him every time.
Well, speaking about Ninja Kaiju, there the giant skull crawler and Kong just snuck up on him out of nowhere too and took out John Goodman.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we forgot to mention about that. But like they're in the little graveyard, Kong graveyard, and he's looking at his camera and it's broken, and he looks at it and he's like, oh God, or oh S, and Skullcrawler gets him and just blah, 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 and you see like through the fog or the sulfur mist or whatever it is.
Yeah, like gas that's poured out of
Yeah,
there.
the flash of the camera in the belly. And that's a nice effect.
That's a cool effect.
But it's like you kill Bryan Cranston and then you kill
John Goodman. And they killed Sam Jackson.
After seeing Deep Blue Sea, I'm okay with that.
Well, that's just it though. Is you're
freaking
dwindling
movie.
down on your star power. This is one thing that made me angry when I heard about the casting for this Godzilla movie, for the new one that we got coming out. Was Kong gets Sam Jackson, Tom Hiddleston, John Goodman, Brie Larson, a lot of good actors. Godzilla 2014 got Kim Watanabe and Bryan Cranston, and you killed Bryan Cranston. And so then they're doing the casting for this new one, and we got the girl who plays 11, which okay, she's cool, but I mean,
she'd be a great Princess Leia if they ever were to do something like that. She looks like a young Carrie Fisher. Minus the drugs.
The one casting thing that I actually really liked for this new movie is we got Charles Dance, who plays Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. I like him a lot. He's a really good actor.
What was that other movie he was in?
I don't know.
That sci-fi movie with that series that we like. What was that movie? Alien 3.
Oh yeah. That's a young Charles Dance in that one.
That was the best part of that movie other than the runner alien, and he gets taken out.
Mm-hmm. So we got him in here. I'm really looking forward to see what he does. I don't know many of the other people. I don't really know. I can't really comment on Vera Farmiga or the
Strangely attractive to me.
the
Not
dude
strangely.
who she's supposed to be like, who was married to.
I know he was in Pure Country, which is a George Strait movie.
Oh boy,
And
that's exciting.
yeah, that's what I know, man.
Random fact. And so you see what I'm saying?
The more
Kong
you
gets
know.
all the good actors. Godzilla gets Charles Dance. Hey, Kim Watanabe, and then a bunch of.
Well,
other
he was
random
also
people.
in Early Edition.
Oh, and we casted Tom Middleditch, the stupid
Friday Night
Verizon
Lights.
guy. I hate that chode.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in...
Yeah, he's in Silicon Valley.
He was also in The Office for one episode. He's Dwight's brother. Because they were supposed to do a spin-off on Dwight owning that giant farm in the last season.
What, Moose? Not Moose. Moose, not Moose. Moose.
No, not Mose.
Yeah.
No, that was his
Moose
cousin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. I cannot stand Thomas Middleditch, and already from the trailers,
It sounds like you're making fun of his last name, but that's his last name.
that's
right?
Middleditch. Yeah, Middleditch. Yeah.
Middle ditch.
Yeah.
Like middle bitch.
Yeah. He is. I can't stand the guy. I'm sorry. He bugs the crap out of me. Anyway, aside from that, you got anything to say on Godzilla 2014 before we wrap that one up?
It was okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I give it a B.
It's got when it hits high notes, they're really high, but it's got to hit them first, and it does a lot of times. There's a long lull in between them, and it can be bothersome.
Yeah.
The scenes with Godzilla are fantastic, just like with Kong. When Godzilla's on screen, you know it, you feel it, and it's some of the best scenes with Godzilla. as far as some news, so the reaction embargo is lifted for Godzilla King of the Monsters. It had an early release last night over, I think in LA. And there's been nothing but positive reviews. Everyone's saying this is the best monster movie they've ever seen. The monster screen time is way above. They said it's everything that 2014 isn't.
It better be better than Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster. That's the best one.
It's gonna be better than Final Wars, man.
Is it gonna be better than Godzilla Raids Again? Oh, I'm sorry, Gigantus the Fire Monster.
Everyone is super positive about this movie, so that is fantastic news. There's also somebody.
So go to Wikipedia and look at the spoilers beforehand, like I did with Endgame.
Somebody, don't ruin it for yourself. They're already trying marketing wise. Someone even said something about an appearance from an old friend is how they worded it. So I don't know what that means. I'm anxious to see.
Different universes.
No, Gamera shows up. No, that'd be the shit though. Anyway.
Oh no, we're gonna talk about this for a second.
Hold on.
You've talked.
Well, I didn't talk much in the last episode. I realized that. Well, all I have left is the small review from the Aftershock novel.
How was it?
It was okay. It could have been a lot better.
Was it better than Awakening?
Yes and no.
Ooh.
Yeah. So okay.
How much was it?
25.
You could have got that on Amazon for a lot cheaper, man.
Probably. But I'm not concerned about that. What bothers me is one, they didn't have Matt Frank do any of this, which is a shame right then and there. If you're gonna make a Godzilla novel, you need to get Matt Frank. Aside from that,
you're doing Red Man.
Heyo. Aside from that, there's some scenes in the Godzilla Awakening 2014 comic, like some panels in there that look really, really good, despite Godzilla being inconsistent with his appearance throughout the entire comic. So in this one, he is consistent with his appearance all the way through. The problem I have with this one, there's a few things. The cover, the monster Muto Prime on the front of it, or the Dragon Beetle.
Dragon Beetle.
It does not match what he looks like on the cover.
That's a good rock band name too.
Dragon Beetle? Hell yeah. When you open it up and you actually see him, he looks very different from what he looks like on the cover, so that's kind of strange.
It's going to be my next Power Ranger.
And I also, we talked about this, the automatopoeias.
You love saying that word, don't you?
It is a fun word. So Godzilla, Clayton, when Godzilla roars in a comic, what does he sound like? What does he say?
Screonk.
Screonk. I don't know why he says Screonk, but he says
it doesn't
Screonk.
sound like it when you watch the movie.
No, it doesn't.
No,
Not at all.
I don't hear any S's.
But I would rather see Screonk on a page than literally roar. They wrote out roar when Godzilla roars, and it's
legendary.
It's so disappointing, and it's not just that. There's a lot of other sounds that are being made that just sound cheesy. And then the last, because it looks like this was maybe divvied up into 5 what could have been smaller comics. They never got released on their own. But it is in chapters. The last chapter feels very rushed for some reason. So
I think I gave up on these comics after reading Awakening because I didn't really enjoy it. It was okay, but the Pacific Rim one too wasn't that great.
Yeah. Well, Pacific Rim 2 movie sucked anyway.
Started going downhill after that first movie came out.
Right. All in all, probably a 6 out of 10 for this comic. The artwork is there.
The price could have been a little bit better, but it's hardcover, so
it's hardcover. Yeah. The artwork is phenomenal. The artwork looks good. I like it. The story is very interesting. But there are flaws that they could have learned from the 2014 comic that they didn't learn from, and it's still carried over to here. And that's pretty much all I have to say on it. So yeah, we got Godzilla King of the Monsters coming up, you guys. Clayton, anything? What you got?
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
And on that topic, our next episode is going to be Gamera, the Guardian of the Universe.
Yes.
part 1 of the Gabara trilogy.
Yeah,
That
we're gonna do the Gabara trilogy. I like it.
we're gonna do 1, 2, and 3. That's gonna be. That's.
We gotta fit King of the Monsters in there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Special report. I don't know.
There you go. But
As the creator of this vidcast, it's not really a podcast right now. Yeah. So our next. We're not going to do 3 movies in one video. We'll do in 3 episodes.
Those movies deserve an episode to themselves.
Oh man, I can't wait till we do Legion. Oh, so good.
I love Iris, dude.
See, I'm more of a Legion fan.
I like Legion, the monster itself. Legion is really.
That's a
cool.
2-man suit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beast. Iris was cool. A very tentacle rapey though.
Yeah, but Iris looked pretty wild.
It did.
And you gotta love a good Gauss. Come on, who doesn't love Gauss?
Gals.
Who wins in a fight, Rodan or Gauss?
Which Rodan?
Let's say. I mean, Fire Rodan would be too cheap to say. So let's say.
No, because Gauss actually has a projectile. Has that sonic beam. Rodan doesn't have that unless he's Fire Rodan.
Fire Rodan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so Fire Rodan.
Probably still Gauss because Fire Rodan went out like a bitch.
What about Shao Rodan?
I gotta look at their stats again. Gauss,
I gotta look at my cards.
To be quite honest, yeah, I gotta look at the stats. Who can fly more? Well, you never really see. Well, going by
Gauss
the hit
doesn't
site.
look like he has supersonic speed like Rodan does. I think Rodan's faster.
And that can make all the difference right there because all he's got to do is fly by you and it'll just rip you to shreds.
Yeah. Also, he's got to be able to hit you first with his projectile.
Yeah.
Gauss does. If Rodan's faster and you can't hit him, that's.
Oh, I love Gauss. Well, anyway, so yeah, that's it. So
thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you for making it this far and go
watch Godzilla King of the Monsters.
And go to Facebook
May 31st and like our stuff.
And find Yo Gabara on the Facebook and give us a like because we're only at 30 and surprisingly they're all of our friends.
Comment on it. Talk to us.
Yeah, Alex 2 is so far really well. No, my friend Alyssa 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. My other friend Alex Rodriguez. I've just named him Alex 2.
Alex 2.